So the biggest question we get is how much for a DPF clean? Well, a DPF is a self-cleaning system. So if it's blocked, there's a fault. So we'll take this 14 plate Transit Custom 2.2, which is currently in limp mode. And it has two faults for DPF. Now this van's got well over 100,000 miles on it. So it's not only going to be full of soot and carbon, it's also going to be full of ash. So the only way to clean ash is to remove the DPF. So we've got 5 fault codes just for DPF on this. So let's go into the live data. Now the only way to determine a DPF blockage is via the pressure. We're going to have a look at catalyst temperatures, we will have a look at the soot loading, but it is all guesswork by the ECU. The only way to confirm a DPF blockage is via the pressure, and as a rule of thumb we're looking for 2.5 psi at maximum revs. So engine's not running, the differential pressure sensor should read 0, which it is. So we know that the sensor is good. Now we're reading 208% on the closed loop and 205 on the open loop. Temperature sensors are reading, I've not even started it yet, so let's have a look. So at idle I would expect to see half a kPa. Yeah, so she's blocked. So at maximum revs, got 3000 RPM, which is all she'll rev to. She's nearly 30 kPa, which is around 4 psi. So with the mileage on the van, we'll remove the DPF, we'll check the vaporizer, and I'll show you how to do all that once we get the DPF off. So DPF is now off. This is the fuel vaporizer. Fuel comes through it, goes past a red hot glow plug, and that's what heats the DPF up so it can carry out its regenerations. Now garages change these without even testing them. They are very, very easy to test. Simply, if you can draw a vacuum on it, then it is blocked. It should be clear as they come. So there we go, one blocked vaporizer. So the fuel can't get through it, can't heat the DPF up, and that's why it's blocked. The easiest way to get a vaporizer out is very, very quickly with an angle grinder. And done. And that is what's caused the DPF to block in the first place. There should be a hole in there, and it is completely and utterly carboned up. The DPF now here with the vaporizer out of it. We've got it soaking, which is a special chemical that breaks down the ash and removes it from the ceramics. And it will soak now for around about half an hour, 45 minutes. There's companies around that do it without using the chemical, but it only removes around about 30% of the ash. It's just not worth it. It is expensive. I've been offered cleans like this for as little as £60, which proves they're not using it and not doing it correctly. Like everything in life, you get what you pay for. So we'll do it properly, we'll have a nice cup of tea, and we'll let it soak. What the new vaporizer should look like, with a nice hole in it, and it just simply screws in. Done. So we've now reset the values on the DPF on the ECU. We've road tested it along with fitting the new vaporizer. And we have a total pressure of 0.38, 0.4 kPa and at 3000 RPM. Around 10-12 max, so around 1.4 psi, which is perfectly acceptable. Everything else has been reset. The values on the DPF, which should only be done when it's flash cleaned. I've known of garages that have reset them when they refuse to pay for a clean, and this has resulted in the DPF melting, collapsing, or even catching fire. But yeah, van is now done, and will be good for another 100,000 miles plus. Job done right.